Okay, so let's resume. So these are the two lines that we have drawn for this third factor in the denominator. The gain is 0 dB until omega equal to 10, and after that the gain is a straight line having a slope of minus 20 dB per decade, right? But this is not the complete diagram yet, right? You might have guessed it. This is not the final diagram, because when we saw an example of a Bode plot, it was not like that. It was something like some just like a curve. But we don't see a single line here. We are seeing three different sections, or rather 4 lines we are seeing, right? 4 lines, or you can say there are 3 sections we are looking at here. So what shall be done here? So as I said earlier, that we have to now add the contributions of each of the 3. We have to add the gains contributed by these 3 components. Now what I mean, you take any value of omega, let's say here at omega equal to 1. What are the gains contributed by the 3 components? You simply look at the values. This particular line is adding 0. This particular line is also adding 0. And this third line is adding, how much is this? This is 6. So final value will be 6. Okay. What about 0.1? At point omega equal to 0.1, what is the value of gain? It is simply addition of these 3 values, minus 20 plus 0 plus 6. So how much is it? Minus 14, right? Am I correct? Minus 14. Minus 14 is the final gain value at this particular point. So this point, these are final gain values. Okay. So can you guess what will be the value of gain at this particular point at omega equal to 2? Can you calculate this? Again, it is going to be an algebraic sum of 3 curves, right? Algebraic sum of these 3 points. So what are these 3 points? The 3 factors, factor 1, factor 2, and factor 3. So if you add these 3 factors, what are the values? 0, 6, and what is this? Again, 6 means it will be 12. So this particular point it has to be, right? Now can you see, is it going to be correct here? If I connect this point, and this point until this, like this, what do you see? This is, the drawn line is parallel to this particular line. This particular 20 dB per decade line and the red line which I have just drawn, these are parallel lines. So can you guess what is happening here? So when you will see if you see some video, I have also uploaded one video of how to draw a Bode plot on the Semilog paper, that the link I will share with you. So on that, I have shown how you will need to draw parallel lines, and that's the reason behind that is this. See this line, this 20 dB per decade line, which was basically contributed by this S, is just getting shifted upwards. You see, from here also it is shifted upwards by 6. Here also it has shifted by 6. From here also it has shifted by 6, right? Until what point it is going to be shifted? Until this point, means until omega equal to 10. So until omega equal to 10, you can simply draw that line like this. Now why only until this? Because you see, from omega equal to 0.1 to omega equal to 10, The gains, what are the gains? Gain, let's say G1 or GK, I would say GK is equal to 6. G, because of this S is equal to 0, and G, G20 dB is going to be 20 dB per decade. Until what? Until omega equal to 10, right? So if you add all these three, what you are going to get? If you add all these three, what are you going to get? You are going to get 20 dB per decade line, but it is, instead of that line intersecting this here at 0 dB, it is going to intersect at 6 dB, because that line is getting shifted upwards. And why this shifting is happening? This shifting happens because of K. The shifting happens because of K. Whenever this K changes, the shifting will change. The shift will be upwards or downwards. It may be upwards or it may be downwards. Okay. So ultimately, what we are going to get is, we are going to get a 20 dB per decade line, means a positive slope line, up to omega equal to 10. What will happen after omega equal to 10? What will happen after omega equal to 10? You just try to look into these individual components again. Let's say at this particular point. At this particular point, omega equal to 20. Okay. What are the values? This value and this value. How are these contributed? This is a negative 20 dB per decade slope, and this is positive 20 dB per decade slope. So the resultant slope is 0 dB. And that's why, because of these two opposite slope lines, ultimately we are going to get a horizontal line. And that's why that line will run like this. After omega equal to 10, we are going to get a horizontal line like this. Okay. So the magnitude plot is going to be like this. You see, this is what I have drawn, right? After omega equal to 10, we are going to get a horizontal line, because it is a combination of minus 20 dB per decade and plus 20 dB per decade lines, right? So if you have multiple lines like this, don't worry, simply look into sections. Look into just sections. If instead of this only one, if let's say there was only also S plus 1. Okay, so what will be the case? You will have T1 and T2. So you will also have omega 1 and omega 2. So instead of a single section like this, or like this, what you will have? You will have two sections. One section like this, and another section again like this. Why? Because omega are different. Omega 1, omega 2. There will be two frequencies, right? Two corner frequencies. So until corner frequency 1, contribution of first factor will be 0 and then minus 20 dB per decade. Until corner frequency 2, contribution of second factor will be 0 and then minus 20 dB per decade. Okay. So if let's say I don't have this factor right now. Okay. So what will be the resultant of these two factors? If let's say this is exactly what the curve I get, then until this particular point, I will draw a resultant in a different color now. Let's see, I will draw a green curve. So what I will get a green line until this point. Okay, then like this, and up to this particular point, and after this point, what are the resultant slope? This minus 20 and this minus 20, so minus 40 I'm going to get here. So this will be minus 20 equal to minus 40 dB per decade line after the higher corner frequency. Okay, after the higher corner frequency, see from this, after the higher corner frequency, there are contributions from both the corner frequencies. Like here we have seen after this corner frequency, the contribution was opposite, minus 20 and plus 20. That's why that got negated, right? It became 0. But if both are negative, means both the factors are in denominator, then both are going to contribute in a negative sense, right? Both are going to contribute in a negative manner. So it is going to become minus 40. In a similar way, whatever the number of factors is, just look into the graph section by section. What are the sections that we have drawn here, right? See, we have drawn sections up to omega 1, omega 2, and then afterwards. The number of omegas, the number of corner frequencies will be equal to number of first order factors. That's it. Okay, so this is how you are going to get the resultant magnitude plot. Okay, for the phase plot, it is quite simple. You don't have to do anything special or something. Just look at each factor, calculate its phase, and add those. So 2, its phase is phase angle 2, phase angle of j omega, and phase angle of this particular first order factor in denominator. So each individual factor we are just adding. Note that when we are adding a phase of denominator, it is with a negative sign, right? Phase angles of numerator are added and phase angle of denominator are subtracted. Okay, and then just use your formula for the phase angle, tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. You get individual formula, and then just simply whatever terms get cancelled, let them get cancelled, and then what remains, substitute value of omega there. As I said, substitute values of omega for different ranges, and whatever the value of phase angle you get, simply plot it, plot the diagrams, and then use your freehand drawing to draw the curve. So this is how you are going to get the phase plot. Okay, I hope I'm quite clear. If you have any questions, you can ask. I can see most of you have already given your attendance. If anyone is remaining, put your attendance in the chat box. And because we are going to stop here now. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. Yes, any questions? So we will continue today about the discussion on Bode plots. We have seen this example, right? We have seen this example of Bode plot. This one, right? 20s upon s plus 10. Now, when we calculated the Bode plot of this Bode magnitude plot, we considered, we went step by step. We found out the magnitude plot contributed by the 3 basic factors: the gain factor, s in numerator, and first order factor in denominator. But before that, we had to readjust this term s plus 10. We want it in time constant form, means in the 1 plus st form. We want it in this form. So the coefficient of S has to be T, and it has to be added by 1. So whatever the term here is, we will divide by that term. So that's why, and this is necessary because on that value, the gain will be dependent on, right? Gain will depend on that particular value. That's why that this particular step is important to be performed. Okay, now we plotted the magnitude plot like this, which is a resultant of the three individual plots. And for the phase plot, we simply calculated the formula first. And from the formula, by substituting the value of omega in this formula, we calculated the overall angle of the function. And then we simply plotted that, plotted those values on the curve on the board on the Semilog paper and connected the dots. The method or the process of finding out the intermediate values, you should again look at and pay attention to that and understand how to find out those values, right? That is very important. Otherwise, what will happen? You are going to make mistakes in that, and your plot will be wrong. Okay. So once you draw the Bode plot, what we can do is we can try to check whether the plot is correct or not. If when you are designing a particular system, when you are, or let's say, let's just focus on the problems that if you are solving the problem and you plotted the Bode plot and you want to verify. So we have again the same tool that we used earlier, which is Octave. Yes, you can use this Octave tool. And using Octave, this is the simple program, very small program, right? You can see this small program you can run and you get the Bode plot like this. This Bode plot you are going to get in a single figure window. Because this is how you have to draw the Bode plot on paper also. Whenever you are going to draw Bode plot on the paper, on a Semilog paper, you have to draw it on the same scale, one below the other. Magnitude plot is on the top and phase plot is on the bottom. And also note down that the scale, the frequency scale has to be same. Now, why is it required? We are going to see in today's lecture why we have to do this. We must draw both the plots one below the other. Bode magnitude plot is on the top and Bode phase plot is on the bottom, and x-axis scale is common to both. See, x-axis scale is same. It is common to both the plots. Okay. The program is quite simple. Again, this thing now, by this time, you know this, right? These first four commands, you know. Package load control, it will load the control system toolbox. Num 20, 0, because we have the function 20s divided by s plus 10, right? We have this function. So 20s, why? 20 is the coefficient of s. This is like this, 20s plus 0, right? S raised to 0 coefficient is 0. That's why we have to put it here, 0. And 1, 10. Now, again, you can see that when you are inputting the function into a software like Octave, you don't really need to convert this in the time constant form, right? It is not required to convert it in the time constant form because it is going to anyway calculate the frequency response of the full system. And also you can see that this is not really exactly the asymptotic plots. You can see here there is a curvature, right? Here is a curvature. There is a smooth transition from this slope line to a zero slope line, right? There is a smooth transition. However, the basic ends you can check. For example, here, how much could this be? You can see from the graph, this is around 14 minus 14. And what was your graph? It was also the same, minus 14 at 10 raised to minus 1. At 10 raised to 0, how much is it? You can check how much is it. It is around 6, right? So these are the, so our plot is correct. This is just the way of verification. This is just to verify whether we have done it correctly or not. Okay. Phase plot also you can verify whether it is correct or not. Okay, so you see, to plot this Bode plot, the function here is simple. Bode into bracket sys. This is a transfer function model of the system, right? It is a transfer function model of the system, and we are passing that transfer function model to the function Bode. Okay, so this is what we have. We have the Bode plot of the given function here. This was the function, and this is just something that I have added, which is not really necessary, but just to for our future reference, just to remember that this is the function that I have plotted, right? 20s upon 1 upon s plus 10, just to keep a record for ourselves. It is not a requirement, but it is just an additional information. Okay, so this is a third type of factor, quadratic factor. Actually, this is not really necessary for you to see also. Sometimes you may require it, or sometimes you can simply factor it into simple factors also. So that is also okay. Okay, so for this, again, there is going to be a corner frequency omega upon less than equal to omega n, for which magnitude is going to be 0, until which, and after that frequency, the magnitude is going to be 40 dB per decade positive if this factor is positive, means in the numerator. If it is in the denominator, if it is in the denominator, then it is simply going to be minus 40 dB per decade. So to summarize whatever we have seen for Bode plots, if there is S or S plus something like this factor, then this is going to add a line of slope 20 dB per decade, right? If this is in the numerator. If it is some factor is in the denominator, then it is going to add a line of slope minus 20 dB per decade. If this is plain S, means only S, then there will be only this line or this line like this. If it has something added to it, means it is in form of 1 plus st, then it will be of the shape like this or like this. Positive or negative slope depends on whether that factor is in numerator or denominator. If it is in numerator, slope is positive. If it is in denominator, slope is negative. Okay. And the number of these parameters or number of these factors, if there are 2 factors, then the total contribution would be 40. Simply addition. We are just going to add them ultimately at the end. Okay, so this is plain logically you can solve the Bode plot problem, and that's why this is actually a simple problem giving you high output or high marks. Normally this is asked for 14 marks. A simple Bode plot problem is asked for 14 marks. But this is not the only thing that is asked. What I mean is, you are not supposed to only draw the graph, because just drawing the graph is not going to serve you any purpose. What is the inference from the graph? What is the outcome? Why you are doing that? To do that, you must know how to find out the relative stability from Bode plots.